Let's say the year is 2024 and I'm a hiring manager, and on your first day, I hand you your laptop. What am I expecting you to be able to do with that laptop? Check emails, search the web, use Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Now, flash forward to 2027. You're also a new hire, it's your first day, and I hand you a laptop. What am I expecting you to be able to do with that laptop? All of those things I just mentioned, but then also have a certain degree of AI literacy. But what does that mean? We're going to talk about that on today's episode of AI Panic. If you follow any kind of business news like I do, you'll see and hear this all the time. I'm talking about employers are, if not now, soon going to be requiring a certain amount of understanding of AI, how to use AI literacy. But in those stories that I see and read, nowhere do I see a definition of that. I feel like there's this assumption right now that when we say AI skills, everybody knows what we're talking about. But since this is such early stages of adoption with AI, and really poking and prodding it, seeing what it can do, can't do, and how we should be best using it in a business setting, I think a lot of those answers are still out there to be found. But what I'm hoping to endeavor to do today is to take a look at what we do understand about AI and what AI literacy looks like right now, and then what it might look like in the future, and who will be helping define those terms so that you can better prepare yourself for job searching now, and more importantly, staying relevant in your chosen field going forward. I've been thinking about this a lot lately for reasons that I'll get into later in the video. And in doing so, I've identified 5 skills that I think would fit nicely under this umbrella. First up is prompt engineering. So, this is probably the one that most of you think of when I mention this topic. And for me, proper prompting involves 2 things: one, context, and boundaries. So you want to make sure that you give the prompt all of the data that it's going to need to execute properly. And then also boundaries. What should and should not be in the output. Next up is you have to have a good BS detector. You need to be able to look at that output from your prompting and tell if it's within what you were expecting. And if it's not, you need to have the sense to readdress your prompts, and until you can get to that output you were expecting. This next one is a lot more complex than I'm going to go into here, but security awareness. Knowing that you should not be posting sensitive data in any kind of public AI tool. And also the ability to follow your company's guidelines on security with regard to AI. Coming in at number 4 is knowing the right tool for the job. So this is having a really good understanding of the tools that are currently available, what their strengths and weaknesses are, and how to best employ those for the task that you have at hand. So this is understanding that Perplexity is really good at research, or that Claude is really good for those deep strategy sessions, and that Copilot is really good for, I'm sure, something. We round out our list with to AI or not to AI. That is the question. So, as amazing as these tools are, there are still certain tasks that our brains are just better suited for. And knowing those instances where, yes, I could write a prompt for this and check the work and recheck the work and refine the prompt, or I could just do it myself in half the time. I think that is a skill that should be part of this list, and a great way to finish out our top 5 skills that should be considered when looking at what AI literacy looks like in 2025. But what about going forward? I can hear you ask through your mobile device or TV screen or computer screen somehow. Great question. I see two things just based on evolution and what I know about humans. The first one is going beyond text output. So, right now, I would say most of the output most of us are putting out is text based, but they're going to continue to innovate on picture creation, video creation, audio creation, and being able to write prompts that integrate all three of those along with text is going to be crucial, I think, for a lot of industries. The second thing is, say it with me, regulation. There is not a lot of government regulation right now around the world, nor are there a lot of companies putting a lot of rules around this stuff. But you can only imagine that as we collectively get our heads around the potential and the risks of this technology, that stuff is coming. And so being able to work in those environments where you're enforcing your internal company policies as well as being within any regulations that govern what you're doing will also be very important. So that's what I'm tracking right now. And I feel like it's a solid list, but I never assume that I am looking at a problem fully. So it would be awesome if you are also thinking about this and have some other ideas of skills that would fall under that umbrella of AI skills. It would be awesome if you would share those in the comments so we can get a good conversation going on this topic. Because I posted this video for two reasons. One, I wasn't seeing a lot of content on this particular issue. And then two, and this one's a little more personal, I volunteer at a big nonprofit near me that has a workforce development arm. And I function as a career coach, but I also will have a voice in the curriculi that we put forth next year as far as little trainings to help folks with different things. And I feel like I should push for an AI piece. But as I said that, I was like, well, what does that mean? So this video was meant to, one, serve as brainstorming in that area, but then two, like I said, hopefully drum up some conversation. So I would love a comment. Also, if you like this video, please hit that like button, and would love it if you followed my content also by hitting subscribe. As you can tell, this is a small channel right now, but I am determined to grow it with consistent, thoughtful content, and I would love it if you could support me. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We'll talk soon.